Welcome to the Holistic Plastic Surgery Show, where we dive deep into the hottest topics in health, beauty, and cosmetic treatments. I'm Dr. Anthony Youn, America's holistic plastic surgeon. Well, have you ever thought about making your own skincare products? Well, why would you do that when it's so easy to just buy your skincare products at the drugstore like most other people? Well, if you take a look at the list of ingredients of your favorite creams, you might be surprised at just how many ingredients are used to make up something as simple as a moisturizer for your hands. Ingredients like methylparabens, aluminum silicate, and even fragrances can actually be unhealthy for your skin and your health. While you may think the FDA is watching over these cosmetics companies and preventing them from putting harmful additives into your moisturizers and anti-aging creams, in reality, they are not. You can be unknowingly exposing yourself to potential carcinogens and hormone disruptors. Well, knowing this is an issue, my next guest has made it her life's mission to educate consumers, like you and me, how to make our own skincare products using all natural and safe ingredients. By making your own skincare products, you will know exactly what you're putting on your and your children's skin. So let's get started. My guest this week is the author of the best-selling book, Love Your Skin, Love Yourself, and co-author of The Sauce Code. She's a board-certified international health coach, licensed esthetician, and natural skincare formulator and educator. She's the president and co-founder of the Nutritional Aesthetics Alliance, the creator of the popular skincare and healthy lifestyle blog, Holistically Haute, as well as the 6-week online course, Create Your Skincare. She is also an avid herbalist. I'd like to welcome my friend, licensed esthetician Rachael Pontillo, to the Holistic Plastic Surgery Show. Well, thank you for coming on the show today, Rachael. I do appreciate you coming on. I'm so excited that we're here to talk about how you can make your own skincare.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
So let's start from the beginning. Now, you're a licensed esthetician, and I employ a couple of licensed estheticians myself, and we sell a lot of commercial, skincare products. What would lead you to say, hey, you know what? That's not right. Let me make my own skincare products. What brought you to that?
So it was a long process. It really initiated with my own skin. I was not seeing the results that I wanted with the professional products that were on the market that I had been using. And I used a lot. I had exposure to a lot of different professional strength and medical strength skincare brands out there. As an esthetician myself, I attend all of the conferences. I meet all of the vendors. I've gone to a lot of the trainings with those people. And what I found for myself and also for my clients is that they would plateau after using the product protocol for a certain period of time. Even though it was for your skin type or whatever condition that you were looking to take care of with the products and whatever treatments we were working on in the treatment room. And also, I coach privately in a holistic fashion with lifestyle and nutrition along with the topical work. But the lines out there, I realized they were not formulated for individual people. Mm-hmm. They were formulated for types that were based on studies, most of which were done on lab animals in the mid 20th century. Mm-hmm. And fortunately and unfortunately, a lot has changed since then, but unfortunately the research has not been updated necessarily for a lot of those ingredients. So we are starting to learn more now about how bioindividuality is really a strong factor with what nutrients a person needs to have overall good health. Mm-hmm. And the skin is the largest organ of our body. It's not something that is disconnected from the rest of our internal organs and our overall health. So if we are treating our internal bodies as bio-individual beings with customized bespoke diets and supplement regimens, wouldn't it make sense to treat the skin the same way? Mm-hmm. So I started making changes for my own skin. I started messing around with ingredients that I learned about in aesthetic school. I also had been mixing things up myself way before then because my mom used to play around in the kitchen with home remedies and stuff like that and was always interested in herbs. And then I started studying herbalism. I started studying Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine and learning about some of the herbs and what they can do topically versus what they can do internally, and how they work with the skin. I started learning more about cosmetic chemistry and different types of absorption and what ingredients are actually getting past the epidermis and which ones are not, which ones are staying on the surface and actually oxidizing, which could potentially cause irritation, can cause photosensitivity, and can introduce more free radicals into the skin, which increases inflammation. Obviously, those are things we don't want to happen, but that's a lot of what actually does happen with commercial skincare products. And with a commercial skincare line, oftentimes, if something is branded as for oily skin, for aging skin, for sensitive skin, for acneic skin, there's a very limited capacity of different products that you can try. Because if you know you have aging skin or hyperpigmented skin, you're not going to then say, oh, well, let's try this acne product. It just doesn't logically make sense. So it builds a barrier within that line itself of what you could even do next. So I wanted to have the freedom to make those changes myself without having to go back to square one completely.
So you don't believe then that we can necessarily be in the same skincare type all our lives. So for example, most dermatologists, plastic surgeons like myself, we look at people and say, okay, they've got either oily skin or a combination skin or dry skin. I mean, this is something that I put in my book, The Age Fix, as you know.
I know.
But these are not things that you necessarily believe in or that you follow when you treat your patients. Why is that? And then what do you follow instead?
So I've developed a methodology called finding your synergistic skin combination. And what I look at is what your skin inherently is versus what conditions you've developed based on diet, lifestyle, and all of that. So basically, what's going on now versus what is the ideal for your skin. So I think that we do have an inherent type, but that type is what is the ideal for you.
Yeah.
If we lived in a world that was not full of toxicants in our air and water and food and personal care products, maybe that would stay that way for longer. But that can also start to shift with things like hormone imbalance or hormone shift during different stages of life. So I like to look at what's going on now? What brought you here? What can I help you with today? Sometimes that's acne. Sometimes that's lines and wrinkles. More often these days, I'm seeing a lot of hyperpigmentation people. I'm finding it very common. And they've already tried the typical treatments and they're not seeing results, or they tried it for a while, it worked for a while, and now it's actually getting worse. So I look, okay.
Well, so if somebody comes and sees you and let's say, they say, okay, I've been using this commercial product that I buy at the drugstore, and it's for acne, but I'm still breaking out. What do you do with them? What do you say to them? How do you examine them? And do you take an approach more than just products? Do you talk to them about their diet and things as well?
Yes, that's really the cornerstone of my coaching practice. I call the methodology for that the skin self mastery method. I like methods. And what I look at is really 3 different areas. I look at your topical regimen, I look at your diet, and I look at your mindset. And your mindset also includes lifestyle habits. And depending on where that person is, that's where we start. Not everybody's ready to make changes to their diet yet if they have mindset blockages that are holding them back. Most people know what they should be doing to be healthier or to have better skin, but they're not doing it. So I've had additional training in coaching and counseling where I'm able to help those people kind of work through some of those stuck areas within their mindset so they can then shift into more positive behavior changes as well as dietary changes. But some people come in and they're like these spiritual gurus. They got the mindset worked out. They are just ready to go. And that's where we just dive right in like, okay, let's look at the diet. Let's start here. But then we have some people who really could use a visual boost and some self-care. And maybe we'll start with topical skin care for those people. So it really depends on the individual person, but really for optimal and longest lasting results a holistic and integrative approach is what's necessary. Topical skincare is only a small part of the picture because healthy skin cells are built from within.
I find that interesting because, you go back and you're interested in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine and you're talking about mindset and you're talking about diet. It's funny because in the really it has in Western medicine, when you look at dermatology and for us for cosmetic medicine, the effects of stress and your mindset on your skin is something that really isn't talked about a lot, although it's starting to have some discussion now. Same with food. When I went through my residency in plastic surgery and we talked about aging and all that, food was never part of the equation, ever. And it's interesting because now we're actually going back to some of these old truths that you have studied, Eastern philosophies and the idea is that, geez, what is in your mindset, how you see yourself and how your mind works during the day, that the type of mood you're in can actually impact how you look and how your skin presents itself. And so it's kind of things coming all the way back around. Like there truly is science behind some of these ancient philosophies, and we just haven't found it yet. But I think that science is there for us to explore and to eventually find. It may take us a while, but we do know it works. It's like acupuncture. We know it works, and there's studies that show it works. We just don't know scientifically how to explain it using kind of peer-reviewed, evidence-based research that we have in our journals.
And it's really fascinating because, science is brilliant. I love science. But I encourage people to not always rely on science to validate something that you know to be true, that you've experienced, that somebody who has experienced. If something like acupuncture or Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine or even some forms of Western herbalism have thousands of years of success stories behind a specific herb or a specific oil or protocol, that's pretty convincing. And it's not that science hasn't caught up to it yet or that they haven't found it yet. It's just not where science's focus has been. Since in Western society, it's more focused on finding treatments for diseases, which we need that.
There's no monetary benefit of studying those types. Who's going to pay for it? A pharmaceutical company is not going to pay to explore, Ayurvedic treatments. It's not going to happen. And so, of course, you're not going to have science backing it up. And that's why I think it's so slow in coming. It is slow in coming. And science,
for some of especially for what you do, my gosh, if you didn't have all that research, people would be in trouble. Yeah. But there are other alternatives that have just as much value. It's just a different approach. And it does require a little bit of a different mindset for how you view results and for what you're looking for along the way, what type of journey you're looking for along the way.
So speaking of results, and I'm sure you've read my book, Age Fix, and I do insert in there a number of different kind of do-it-yourself at-home skincare remedies, whether it's for an exfoliating agent or a cleanser or a moisturizer. I included those, but the question that I always get from people when we talk about do-it-yourself is, Dr. Youn, if I make up my own, alpha hydroxy acid peel using apple juice and yogurt and stuff at home, is it going to be as effective as if I go in the office and have it done? Or, I'm sure you get all the time, if I make my own skincare at home, how do I know it's going to be as effective as if I buy a retinol cream over the counter, or if I go to the doctor's office and get a skin lightening cream? What do you tell those patients when they ask you about effectiveness of at-home do-it-yourself, make your own skincare?
So what I found is that when you use products with ingredients that were specifically chosen to meet your goals, and that's what I teach in my course. I teach people to create customized, personalized products based on bio-individual needs. And when you're making products with higher concentrations of natural ingredients that are already packaged in a bioavailable form that the skin can readily receive, and these products also contain much less water than what you see on the shelf. So it's just a more highly concentrated product with higher quality ingredients. You're going to get more effects. Oftentimes when you have ingredients like stem cells or retinols or peptides, the rest of the product is mostly just water and chemicals. Mm-hmm. And the absorbability of that ingredient really depends on the condition of the skin before you put it on, because the skin is a lipid, the outermost layer of the skin is a lipid matrix. It's meant to keep out water. Yeah. Whereas having hydrated skin can make it more able to absorb things. But if you're already dehydrated, you're not going to absorb those ingredients, no matter how well they're formulated. It doesn't matter if they're in a phospholipid delivery system or PET delivery system, they're not getting in. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of evidence, even that the professional skincare manufacturers will share with estheticians, that shows under best circumstances, only about 64% of X ingredient is going to get in. Mm-hmm. And that's a fact if you're using a water-based product. Mm-hmm. So I recommend using a lot of herbal extracts that are extracted with oil, because like attracts like, the oils in the skin will recognize the oils from the plants, and the nutrients from those plants, they come with the cofactors necessary for that absorption and that bioavailability to happen. Whereas an isolated phytonutrient that's been separated from the rest of its plant, and it's all by itself in this little test tube, and then it's put in a delivery system and put in a bottle where it may or may not be compatible with other ingredients in that formulation, and it may or may not be able to remain intact while it's in that bottle. We don't know.
So Rachael Pontillo's website is Create Your Skincare. It's createyourskincare.com. She does have a free class on that. So if you're interested in creating your skincare and avoiding a lot of the toxins and the hormone disruptors, and taking the time to really use natural ingredients and still have that potency, take a look at her website, because she'll give you a free lesson on basically how to get started doing that. Now, kind of going back to that making it yourself and the ease of just buying it off of the shelf. So if you see a new patient or a new patient and they say, hey, look, I've had issues with my own products of buying them and nothing seems to work for me, how much time does it take for somebody to kind of get started? Is this something where they have to do a one-on-one with you, or are there online resources? Because one thing you said is that everybody's skin is different. You can't pigeonhole everybody into these certain skin types, that you really have to look at so many other factors. Is this something that necessitates, let's say, a half hour or an hour visit with somebody like yourself to really get to the root cause of their skin issues? Or can they do this by reading a guide or going online and watching a course? How does that work?
So a couple of things. If somebody wants to work with someone like me who makes products, and I do have some students who make products for their clients as well, we do a consultation, absolutely a one-on-one consultation. We review history. We review the present situation. We review the goals, because I don't believe in just creating skincare for the skin you have now. I want to know what you want. I want to know how you want your skin to look. And we have to keep that in mind as well while we're formulating, and then we reassess. So we start off with a consultation. I make my products for my clients. We also often will do nutritional coaching, mindset coaching as well during a set period of time. They try the product for whatever the set period of time we agree on is. We reassess. We take a look. Okay, what improvements have you seen? Where do we still want to go? And then usually they're out of that product by that time. And then I make them a new one, or they're almost out and I make them a new one, and we tweak it as we need to. So this is great for estheticians who want to create a loyal clientele, because they got to keep coming back to you. They can't get that product anywhere else. They can't buy it on Amazon.
So you're actually making it. It's not that the patient is in their kitchen making it themselves, or your client.
They can. They absolutely can. And I do encourage people to do that. This is great both for hobbyists, for DIY people, for moms, but it's also great for professionals who want to add it to their practice. But for people who are not a skincare professional, they want to do this themselves, I do offer a course that is great for people who are not skincare professionals. You can kind of go at your own pace. It's Create Your Skincare on Demand. And in the free course that you mentioned, I do start teaching you the pillars of ingredient selection for your skin. And then you walk away with 2 simple products that you've customized already for your skin. And that's, you actually get 5 free lessons in that course. So I offer that. I also have my Find Your Synergistic Skin Combination workbooks available on RachelPontillo.com that people can purchase if they just want to find out more about their skin. If they're like, okay, well, I thought I had oily skin, but now I'm not so sure because if I use an oily skin product, then my skin gets too dry. That workbook walks you through a process to really get your skin, to know your skin better and be able to make more mindful decisions when either looking for ingredients on products you purchase or on products that you make. And then, so I recommend getting to know your skin really well. And of course, I recommend taking at least my free course, which is called Boutique Skincare Basics, which you can find on RachelPontillo.com or CreateYourSkincare.com. And then, if you're someone who really is just ready to get started and you want to take your skin into your own hands, come on over to CreateYourSkincare.com because I will guide you. I will hold your hand. I will walk you through.
I think it's important for people to realize, and this is one of the facts really that I've been trying to put out there myself, is that it's more than just the creams you put on your skin. I mean, people are used to saying, okay, I go see my dermatologist. My dermatologist spends 3 minutes with me because, I mean, I know a lot of derms, and in the span of one day, they'll see like 80 patients in a day.
Oh my God, they are so busy.
And they're so busy. They come in, they look at you, they write a script, and you put it on your skin. Me as a plastic surgeon, I tend to be able to take a little more time with my patients, but the problem is that health insurance won't pay really for you to sit down and really go over all the reasons why a person's skin could be having problems. You know, it'll pay for you to write a script and sit there for 3 minutes, but it won't pay for you to do the things that you're doing where you say, okay, there are 3 huge things you got to look at if you've got skin problems. And the creams you put on your skin technically is a distant third. You know, the first thing is, what are you eating? You know, the food that you eat can have huge impacts on how your skin looks. The second thing, just like you said before, is your mindset. If you are stressed, if you're not getting enough sleep, you know, those can really impact your skin and your aging process. Absolutely. And then the third thing are basically the creams. So I find it very eye-opening and inspiring that you are taking the time with these patients to do this, because I think it is super important. Now, I love
it too. It's really rewarding work.
Now, I ask everybody at the end of every show, all my guests, if they could give one piece of advice to look, live, and be better to our listeners and our viewers, what would that be? What would Rachael Pontillo, Create Your Skincare expert, say?
Well, I'm sure they've already heard the drink more water, get more sleep, and eat more vegetables, so I'm not going to go there. What I really want to encourage everyone to do is really get to know and love the person that you are underneath that skin, underneath the skin you're in, because it really doesn't matter what you do to your skin. You're still the same person. It doesn't matter if you are perfectly porcelain or ebony smooth. It doesn't matter if there are scars or wrinkles. You're still you. So until you can truly know and love yourself, you won't find happiness if you're only concerned with this. And there is beauty within every single person, inside and out. So I just really encourage everyone to truly get to know and embrace that.
Well, thank you. I think that's great advice. So if you're interested in learning how to create your skincare, how Rachael Pontillo, licensed esthetician and skincare expert, can help you to create your skincare so that it is actually formulated for you, not for hundreds of thousands of other people with a similar quote-unquote skin type, but actually for you, check out our website, CreateYourSkincare.com. And you don't even have to pay anything to start out with. If you want to just learn about it, go to the free course there. She can get you started. If this is something that you're interested in, then you can proceed farther with her. Rachel's a friend of mine. I give her my highest recommendation. So I encourage you, check it out. This is really a different way of looking at your skin. I'm so glad that you were able to come on the show and discuss it today.
Well, thank you again for having me. It was a blast.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I'm Dr. Anthony Youn, America's holistic plastic surgeon. This is Look, Live, and Be Better. We'll be back next week with another fantastic guest. Thank you. Do you want to look 10 years younger without having surgery? Well, my best-selling book, The Age Fix, will tell you how. I spent the past 17 years learning the secrets to turning back the clock, and have written all the best of these secrets in this book. This includes the Age Fix Diet, simple changes to what you eat that can make a huge difference in your appearance. I'll share with you a simple skincare routine to keep aging and wrinkles at bay. And I'll share with you the best secrets to treat every single beauty and aging problem there is, from age spots to wrinkles, saggy skin to bad breath, saddlebags to hair loss. And almost all of these can be effectively treated without surgery. So are you ready to turn back the clock and kick Father Time's backside? If so, check out the Age Fix. Now, if you purchase it on my website, dryoun.com, you'll get over $10 off the cover price, free shipping, and you'll receive several free gifts, including a bonus chapter that you can only get by purchasing the book there. Thank you for making the Age Fix such a huge success.